Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about Guinness World Book of Records legends today. Okay, do you remember I consider this the greatest consecutive talk show in history. It was a tabloid talk show, wasn't a Tonight Show. And with a run spanning 31 seasons, it's the longest running daytime talk show with a single host. He came to the show from tabloid television or news, and for the first 7 years, it was known by his full name. But from then on, from '98 onwards, it was known as one word. And the last hint is, "You are not the father. You are not the father." Maury Povich show. Now, this American tabloid talk show was hosted by journalists, and I use that kind of in a tabloid sense because I'm a journalist as well. Originally aired in syndication. It premiered on September 9th, 1981 and ended on September 8th, 2022, with a total of 5,545 episodes over the course of 31 campaigns. Now, originally titled The Maury Povich Show, it was produced by Mopo Productions in association with Paramount. The show began unofficially using the title Maury in the 96th season, although its original title remained official until '98 when Studios USA, now NBC Universal, took over production and the show was officially retitled Maury. Very big in the black and what they call minority communities. It became legendary for episodes that would involve a professional DNA company determining if the man or men of the piece and this wanton woman, be it she slept with one or seven people, if this person or persons were the father of this person's child. Now, how much was this a setup and how much this was real, I really don't know. But in most cases, you are not the father. This would happen. The man on stage would celebrate, maybe do a happy dance in front of a very raucous Morton Downey Jr. Type crowd, and the woman in question who was screaming for the last 50 minutes, "You're the father of that child. You're going to have to take responsibility. Be a man. Step up." She runs to the back and either jumps into the arms of a couch or falls on the floor and basically cries. Usually they're overweight and usually not very nice looking. But Maury would offer services to these people to find the real father of the child. There was I think there was one case where the woman was back 9 different times. So he was exploiting these people, but they were exploiting him as well. And not too many people became household names from this process. But "You are not the father" has become one of the most iconic lines. Like, "Come on down, Price is Right," okay? Our next contestant, and "You are not the father." Now, Mopo continued to co-produce for NBC Universal. Now, for the first 18 seasons, it was taped in New York City from 2029 until 2009 until its end in 2022, and it was taped at the Rich Forum in Stanford, which is ultimately known as the Stanford Medical and Media Center, along with NBC's other syndicated programming. Again, Guinness World Records. Now, mostly 42 minutes, and a lot of people thought it was going to get canceled during COVID. Now, for the first 18 seasons, again, they were taped back to back at the Grand Ballroom of the Hotel Pennsylvania, New York City. The studio shared the facility of the Hotel Pennsylvania with the People's Court, the original version, until the show relocated studios in 1998, and the lesser viewed Sally Jesse Raphael show until it's canceled in 2022. As of 2007, NBC owned and operated stations no longer aired Maury. For 2010, again, production was moved to Stanford, where the series was taped at a media center, along with, get this, of course, Jerry Springer and Steve Wilkos. The move was made in part because Connecticut offered NBC a tax credit if production of these three series were moved to the States. A large overhead crane was used to hoist the centerpiece backdrop during conversions for show's filming. It took about 3 hours and a crew about 15 decorators and electricians to convert the studio set from one show to one another. When the guests ran backstage on Maury, it was not uncommon to see Steve Wilkos or Jerry Springer set props into view. Now, on September 14, 2012, it started airing in widescreen, though not in high definition. In 2014, episodes of Maury started airing in HD. In October 2014, Maury is renewed through September 2018 and then another 2-year contract. Now, he decided again, the Den 83 announced his retirement in March 2022, effective the end of the 22 season, with a conflict show hosted by Camaro Brown, who had guest hosted several more episodes during its final season, being shot by NBC Universal to take over the time slot, which he has. Now, reruns of Maury were made available to stations. In a June 22 postmortem, Povich discovered his career with Greg Braxton of the LA Times, noting that he accomplished all he had wanted to do during his career, was probably what he had created with Maury, especially in maintaining the show's ratings at a time when daytime television audiences were shrinking rapidly, and had no further desire for any other television projects. The final episode of Maury aired on September 8, 2022, with reruns continuing on most TV stations, but mainly the smaller market stations affiliated with CW+. Now, highly controversial through the year. Get this. Maury was only nominated once, in 2017, for Daytime Emmy Award for Outstanding Talk Show Entertainment, losing to Ellen DeGeneres. Now, some critics heavily denounced the show as being worse than other similar talk shows such as Jerry Springer. Like such shows, it uses guest serious problems for the entertainment of the viewing public, but treated with an insincere sympathy. Whitney Matheson, who I've never heard before or since, but I heard about her in this column, wrote about the show in a USA Today column, stating Povich's talk show was without a doubt the worst thing on television, period. Don't be fooled by the press shirt and pleated khakis. Maury is miles farther down the commode than Jerry Springer. Well, that was her opinion. But you got to understand, ladies and gentlemen, Maury Povich made more people smile because they showed, you think your life is bad, look at these people, it's worse. Now, on February 27th, 2012, it was announced that Maury regular Trisha Goddard, who hosted her own talk show in her native UK, will be coming to America with the Trisha Goddard Show, which was produced by Maury's executive producer, Paul Folhaber, and premiered in syndication in fall 2012. The show, considered a spin-off of Maury, was cancelled after 2 seasons. Now, though not a spin-off, it has been reported that the tabloid TV talk show, Court Show Paternity Court, which premiered on September 23rd, 2013, was inspired by Maury. So, Maury Povich, the last vestiges of 1980s, 1990s talk shows. Morton Downey Jr. was kind of the original. But it's kind of weird. Black people in the States, and I'm not speaking for black people, would tune in droves to Maury Povich because that's a big thing among black people, paternity tests. He has popularized paternity tests. Now, I hope you take it as the right way. We all make mistakes in life. People get pregnant inconsiderately, like outside of their own monogamous relationship. But I don't know if the people are reacting for what they saw in Maury. But again, the 4 levels of Maury, or 5 levels. The woman screams at the guy, said, "You got me pregnant." He says, "I didn't do it." That's 2. Maury gives results. "You are not the father," or "You are the father." Then the woman runs back and goes on that. The man dances, and then Maury goes back and said, "We're going to get you help." I don't know how many episodes were follow up. You know, I must have seen about 1,000 episodes of Maury, not all the way through. But if you go on YouTube, one of the most funniest things, and you know, Schadenfreude, or you shouldn't laugh at other people's pain, but it's just so fucking hilarious when you see these 140-pound black men soaking wet with a Snoop Doggy Dogg plaid shirt outfit on, basically saying, "This bitch ain't I'm not this bitch's baby daddy." And the woman, she's overweight. There's always overweight women. There's never thin women on the show. No, I'm a fat person myself. But she said, you the father, you this, you that. And, you know, it's cliche, or it might be considered racist, but it's funny as fuck. It's not political. If you're looking at political correctness in this podcast at any time, or the Maury Povich show, you're going to have to go a long way up the banana tree, as we like to say. Like I said, as a journalist, I've never done an article on Maury Povich. I wouldn't recommend anybody see the show just because I like it. But if you like that type of shit, go for it, because it is funny as fuck. Because it just, you got ego, and all of a sudden, poof, the balloon gets burst. And nobody wants to say, but all these networks kept on showing this show. Springer had a couple of years where it had that, but Maury Povich, it's like this. I give an example. Yermer Yager of the Pittsburgh Penguins played with a lot of teams after Pittsburgh. He's still playing. He's native, Czechoslovakia. He's still playing. Maury Povich is the Yermer Yager of talk show hosts. If you go to a person and said, okay, tell me a little bit of Maury Povich show, you are not the father. Or that fat woman running backstage, a big black woman. Like, saying, I slept with everybody in that person's family, and he said he owed me, and I don't care who got me pregnant. But I think he's the man who got me pregnant. Because the woman has a vibe against the potential baby father. There's a 7 to 10 70% chance that she's lying. So you're catching a person in a lie. You're catching a person that's trying to trap the other person, but you feel bad for the babies. So the babies you can feel bad for. But life's like this. If you don't laugh at other people's pain, that's just human. I know it's a sin, but just what's going on. You think they'd laugh at us in Northern New Brunswick, the English in the South, was 18% unemployment, and they don't want any French people to work in time of the McKenna years? I mean, but it is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. So if you like what we're doing here with our TV podcasts and our reality take on TV podcasts, if you're looking for political correctness, this ain't no right or left wing channel. We just tell it like it is. If you like what we're doing, let your friends know. Like, comment, subscribe, or share. And if you don't like what I'm doing, I really don't care because I'm not the target audience for a whatever group you're trying to plug. I'm myself. I'm a universe of one. If you don't like it, too bad, so sad. Change the channel. Have a good one. Bye.